It's really hard to believe that 2024 is soon going to come to a close. And in my personal belief, this is a really great time to go through these items that I'm going to give you that are in your closet, in your drawers, in your life, and really see if you really need to bring them into the new year. I've got 25 items that are probably in your life right now that I really think you should reassess. I need to reassess. And the last 5 are items that I personally think do make women look dated right now here in 2024 going into 2025. And unless you are really good at restyling things and are very creative and good at things like that, I think that these 5 items, they just kind of need to go. So those are the last 5. You can cut off the video at number 20 if you don't want to hear that part. And let's get started. Worn out basics. So I have a lot of basics, as if you've watched my videos, you will know that I do have a lot of basics that I wear a lot. I love those. But if they are getting worn out or they have stains or the neck's all stretched out, it happens, especially if you wear your clothes a lot and you're washing them. And, I live in Florida. And so whenever it's the hot months, I do wash my clothes more often than I would like to, but I just, if I'm sweating in them and stuff, I feel like they need to be washed. So some of my basic tees, they get worn out pretty quickly. Although I will say my favorite boxy tee, that's literally my favorite white t-shirt every single season, I have washed and worn this thing at least 100 times and it still looks great. So there is something to be said about buying quality basics because they do last a lot longer, but I digress. This is a category to just kind of narrow down. Because if you're like me, at some points in your life, this consists of most of your closet or most of the things that you wear day to day. But it might be time to narrow down those items that are super comfy and you like to run around in, but you are so embarrassed when you run into somebody you know and you're wearing it. I used to have a ton of these clothes. They were just some old, raggedy, oversized shirt and some, terrible pants and like some ugly but comfortable shoes, and I would throw it on and start running errands, and I would be so embarrassed if somebody ran into me that I knew, or if somebody were to say, hey, can you come meet me for lunch or something really quick? And I was like, no, there's no way I can go there in this. Now, since then, and what I've worked on in the last 10 years or so is to really have clothes that are comfortable and I feel cute in and I feel good in, that are just as comfortable as those, and I can go do my thing in those, but I don't feel embarrassed whenever I run into somebody that I know. It is definitely possible to have a closet of clothes that you feel comfortable and relaxed, but also you feel put together. I have lots of videos that have different ideas on that subject, which I will hopefully remember to link below whenever I edit this. This one is a toughie to get rid of, but you need to really look at those items that still have the tags on them that are hanging in your closet, and you probably need to get rid of them. Resell them, donate them, give them to someone who actually is going to wear them and love them. If they still have the tags on it and you didn't just buy it, like it's not within the return window, there's a reason. I don't know what that reason is. It could be because you bought it on sale and it was fun to buy on sale, but it's not something you really, really love. But for whatever reason, you just haven't worn it. And it's staring at you every day in your closet. It's creating clutter. It's clearly something you don't really want to wear. And so it's time for it to move on. I will say this though. If you can, if it's not going to make you hang on to this for another 6 months, if you can force yourself tomorrow or today to wear that thing out in your day, just go grocery shopping in it or something, just to make sure that you really don't want it. Maybe just really try to assess why you bought it in the first place and see if you can work with it or not. But if it's going to make you end up keeping it for another 6 months and you've already had it for 6 months, probably just let it go. Items that you have way too many of the same. If you have 25 sweatshirts, promise you do not need 25 sweatshirts. Try to narrow it down to like 5. And I do love sweatshirts, but you don't need 25 of them. Same way with black pants. We are in the era of the suit pant, which is for work. It's for going to the club. It's for breakfast. It's for lunch. It's just for all the time. So there is a possibility that soon someone might be looking at their closet and saying, why do I have 10 pair of black pants? So you probably don't need that many pair of black pants. Pick your favorites and either resell or donate the rest. One thing I actually let go of in 2024, and you may want to do this as well, and I'm not saying you have to, but I needed to, but I stopped watching things on television that were dark and disturbing. Like, I have enough stress in my life. I don't need to go watch a movie and make it add stress to my life unnecessarily. It makes no sense. But what I do spend more time doing in 2024 is consuming things that help me grow my business, grow myself as a person, as a human. So that brings us to our sponsor, which is Masterclass. And I've been using Masterclass for probably the last 1 or 2 years. And right now I'm currently watching a course by Martha Stewart on how to think like a boss. And you would think this would be crazy expensive to have access to Martha Stewart, but it's not. So right now I'm taking a course by Carla Welch. She's a big celebrity stylist. And one big thing I learned from her is I'm packing right now, and it's to always bring an outfit or an item that can be worn in any occasion. So for me, that is a blazer. No matter the scenario, it works for smart casual, business casual, elevated, it just always works. And that has been such a game changer for whenever I'm trying to figure out what to pack. Masterclass is an online education platform held by experts and celebrities in so many different fields. You can learn about starting your own business from Sarah Blakely. She's the inventor of Spanx. Or how to write a book by Judy Blume. But also in terms of fashion, you can learn from Anna Wintour, Diane von Furstenberg, Marc Jacobs. A lot of the courses are broken down into about 10-minute videos, which you can easily watch and consume like while you're doing your makeup or having your morning coffee. Masterclass is $10 a month billed annually, and I do have a 15% discount code, but I would definitely check out Masterclass with the link that I have in the description box because they often have holiday promotions. If you're trying to make 2025 better than 2024, I highly recommend trying out Masterclass or even giving it to somebody as a gift. So I will leave everything you need to know to check it out in the description box below, and let's continue. The clothes that do not fit, they're too tight, you can't fit into them, or you lost a lot of weight, now they're way too big. What I like to do with these, because my weight does tend to fluctuate depending on the time of year, what I'm doing, what's going on in my life, how stressed I am, is some of these items that don't fit me anymore or won't fit at certain times, I just put them somewhere else in my house. I take them out of my main closet space. I don't have a huge closet anyway, but I take them out of there and I'll just put them somewhere else. If you are on a weight loss journey and you're trying to lose, 10 pounds or whatever your goal weight is, and there's just something that doesn't quite fit right, I would say to put that away for 3 to 6 months and give yourself a timeline and come back to it, like set it in your calendar and come back to it in 3 months or 4 months or whatever you decide. And if you, depending on how much weight you're trying to lose, and commit that if you can't fit into it then or it doesn't look good on you then, you're gonna go ahead and move it on to a new life. I'm not necessarily saying get rid of these, but you might want to, but at least move them out of your closet. I mean, put them somewhere in your house that just some space that you don't need, under your couch, or under your bed, in your guest bedroom, or in your child's closet. That's what I kind of do sometimes. But it's the really fancy dresses, like cocktail dresses, black tie dresses, the formal attire that you're definitely not wearing every day. Like I would guess that most of you are not wearing cocktail dresses every single day, or probably not even like once a month, maybe during the holiday season, but you're normally not dressing in black tie attire every weekend. But if you are, that's amazing, good for you. But it is good to move those items just somewhere else. You don't need to look at those every day. They're taking up space in your closet, and your closet space will be much better used with items that you want to wear every single day. We have to get rid, or at least narrow down, these clothes that do not fit the life we are living right now. I'll give you an example in my life. I have these shirts that I wore when I was pregnant and like pregnant, and they're great shirts. They were like baggy, oversized shirts, and I could definitely wear them when I wasn't pregnant. But when I put them on when I wasn't pregnant, I felt pregnant again, and they just did not look good on me, and they just didn't look right. But I kept them because they were perfectly good shirts, and I did love wearing them when I was pregnant. Finally, I had to say, I'm not pregnant anymore. I don't want to wear this. They need to have a new home. Let me just, pass them on to somebody else. For you, it might be you have a ton of clothes that represent working in the corporate world, but you now work from home, or you have a different lifestyle. You don't need all of your clothes to be suits and black pants and trousers. Pick your favorites of these and donate the rest. Now, when I say get rid of, I don't necessarily mean go throw it in the trash, but I mean try to donate it or resell it, or some of these things you might even just want to put in a box and put under your bed and come back to in about 6 months and reassess at that point. The part 2 of this one is to really assess if the clothes in your inner closet are representing how you want to show up in the world. If you are trying to elevate your career and just do better at life and be more productive and more motivated and ambitious, then if all of your clothes are sweatpants and loungewear and everything, you're probably going to want to narrow that down and get some clothes that represent who you want to be and how you want to show up. This one's tough, but get rid of that thing that was super expensive and you loved it when you bought it, but you really kind of never wore it. I have an example. You're not going to believe this, but I have a skirt in my closet right now, and it's a Prada skirt, and I got it when I was 25. I'm 43 right now, by the way. I got it when I was 25 because I took myself to Italy after breaking up with my boyfriend, and I went to a Prada sample sale or something. I think I wore it once, but I have not been able to get rid of this thing. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it on for you guys first in this video, see if I can do something with it, and if I can't, it's got to move on. Okay, so it was Gucci, not Prada, and I tried this skirt on again, and you know, it just has this weird ruching. It's really pretty, but it just, I don't know, it makes me kind of want to fidget with it a little bit. I don't think I'm into it. It has a weird elastic waistband where you can't really tuck things in, so it's gotta go. And that leads me to my next one. These items that have sentimental value, you know what? I'm going to always remember that Italy trip. Whether I have the Prada skirt or not, I will always remember my Italy trip. It was so amazing. I went by myself. It was so cathartic and just wonderful, and got me over my breakup when I was in my 20s. And I don't really need the skirt to remind me of that. And for you, it might be things that your mom gave you when you were 11 years old. And if, you know, you got to decide for yourself if you can get rid of it, but I doubt that the memories of your mother is going to be erased if you were to get rid of the sweater you had when you were 11 or whatever the case may be. But anyway, to each his own, you decide. What I'm saying is memories aren't necessarily wrapped up in the things that you have. This one is not a physical item, but it does pertain to getting dressed and your clothes in your closet. But it's to try really, really hard and just make a commitment this year or for 2025, or right now actually, for the rest of this week, to really stop the negative self-talk. You put on something and you tell yourself, I'm too fat and ugly and old and whatever, wrinkly to wear this thing. You gotta stop. I do it too, and then I've gotten pretty good about stopping myself and saying, this is ridiculous. Why am I being so mean to myself? But we have to stop with that. We are our own worst critic, and I promise you, everyone is so busy thinking about themselves and how they look in everything, they're not overanalyzing how you look in something. So if you love the item and it's something you want to wear, just go ahead and wear it. Uncomfortable shoes. This is an easy one. Any of your shoes that are just horribly uncomfortable and you hate wearing, those need to go. Donate them, because somebody else, they might fit great on somebody else, but they just don't fit on you for some reason. Now, I do have shoes that work for a couple of hours, or if I'm just going to dinner or something, and you know, those are fine. But if they just really hurt your feet from the moment you put them on, or within 30 minutes of wearing them, they're really hurting your feet, it's time to let them go. Underwear and bras that are just worn out and not doing the work that they should be doing, they need to go. But you usually can kind of tell when they're not fitting that great anymore. And if you can't even remember when you bought it, like if it was 2 years ago, maybe it's time to replace it. Anyway, it's just a very good drawer to assess at least once a year. Any leather or faux leather items that are destroyed or worn out beyond repair. Now, leather often gets even just better looking with age, and it looks even nicer when it's worn in. And I've actually don't have any items that are actual leather that I've ever had to get rid of. And I have a jacket that I've had since I was 23, a leather jacket, and it still looks amazing. But I have had faux leather items that have started peeling and they just don't look very good anymore. I don't know if it's the weather down here, like the humidity or something, but every time I bought faux leather, within a year or two or something, something happens where it starts peeling. Anyway, if you have any of that, I don't know how you fix that. You might have to get rid of those. Kind of piggybacking off of the cocktail dresses we were talking about, but any dresses that you don't normally wear except for kind of you're going out to dinner or you are going to something special. If you don't wear those very often, then those might, if you have the space in your house, that might be a good thing to take out of your closet and move somewhere else. So for me, I have these items, which I do wear, but I don't wear them on an everyday, regular basis. And so some of these items I just put in my upstairs closet. And so whenever I need one, I know where to go and I'll go up there and pick from that closet. But I just kind of want my everyday closet space to be what I wear every single day. But again, my closet is pretty small, and that's just something you would have to assess if that would help you organize your closet better or not. The sock whose life partner decided to leave him and never come back. I have so many of those. I don't know what happens to the other sock. It drives me crazy. But I have socks I've kept for years, just hoping that one day its partner will show up, and it just never does. Now there are little pouches you can buy, and I actually have one of these, and sometimes I just forget to use it, where you can put your socks in and wash it so that they stay together and you don't have to worry about them getting lost. We'll link one below. That's actually a really good present, I think, for somebody. That would be a good Christmas present, because socks, like one of them missing is the most common issue that we all have. And it'd be great to be able to keep them together like that. Do you have a ton of t-shirts? I have gone through my t-shirts many times, and I just somehow accumulate them. And so it's kind of one of those things that at least once a year, I have to go through all my t-shirts and just get rid of the ones that I don't really want or don't fit well, or I just don't want to wear anymore. A lot of them are like free t-shirts I've gotten from some event that I've either been to or been a sponsor or something like that. So I whittle them down to my favorites and get rid of the rest. Do you have like 7 or 8 bathrobes? I know this happens, and I think it's a good gift idea for people. And so I think just over time, we can accumulate bathrobes, but you probably don't need 7 of them. You probably have 1 or 2 that are your favorites, those are the ones that you wear all the time. It'd be a good time to just go ahead and get rid of the others. I know they were a gift, and it was a really nice gift, but if you're not gonna wear it, you know, you're very appreciative of the person that gave it to you, but if you're not gonna wear it and it's creating clutter, it's time to let it go. The stretched out, elastic coming out, falling apart pajamas. You can probably get rid of those, ask for some more for Christmas. That'll be a good Christmas gift that someone can give you. Now's a really good time to go through your athletic wear, the clothes that you wear when you're working out. I have to do this because from time to time, like I'll wear something for even a couple of years, and then I gradually get away from it and I don't like it anymore. Like I have these long tank tops I used to wear all the time, and now I've realized I don't like the way they're just uncomfortable and too cumbersome to wear, and I still have them in my drawer. So I need to get rid of those. I need to donate those. But this is a really good time to really assess your athletic wear and narrow it down to the ones that you really actually love to wear and get rid of the rest. This is one I really need to do, and it's to go through your makeup and get rid of either your makeup that you just never, ever, ever wear. And I know it was expensive because makeup is just not cheap, but you never wear it, and you're probably not going to if you haven't in the last 6 months. And then the makeup, if it is 6 months old, you might want to smell it or something. I keep my makeup basically until it runs out, but you know, if it's like 3 years old, it probably needs to go. And I think something does happen to the formula over time. It like doesn't cover as well. Maybe that's a lie they told us, but I just figure if it's 6 months that you're supposed to keep your makeup and throw it away, I figure I'll just keep it a year. But then a year, it probably needs to go. And it kind of starts smelling funny too, if we're being honest. So these last 5, I just personally think are items that I do feel like make women look a little out of style. They make them look a little dated. And again, if you are really good about restyling things and you're really creative like that, and you can go in your closet and just restyle it in a way that looks and feels fresh, wonderful. I love that for you. But I know that a lot of women are just, you know, they kind of just want to know, like, well, what do I need to get rid of in my closet that's kind of making me look out of style? These are 5 items that I do still see women wear, and I don't sit there and I'm like, you look out of style or anything like that. But I just know that sometimes this minor update or a change would probably help them feel like their style is a bit refreshed. One is the super tight, ripped, overly ripped skinny jeans. Nothing wrong with distressing, nothing wrong with rips. I'm not personally into rips right now, but if it's super tight and it's got a lot of distressing, it looks very dated. Not only is the style looking kind of dated, but just rips, these humongous rips all through the legs are just not really a thing right now. They're not very in style. It's more so in like a wide leg, not so much the super tight, skinny leg. So I just personally think that can start to make women look a little bit dated. This is one you might still have from the early 2010s maybe, and it's a classic-ish, but I just think it looks dated. And it's the fitted, cropped, 3/4 length sleeve blazers. Like a little black fitted one, stops about right here, and the sleeve stops about right here. Not only do I think that they make women look a little bit out of style, but I just always feel like it makes women look like their blazers are too small. Like they're wearing a piece of clothing that is too small. And it's not. It's just that it's meant to be like fitted and cropped and not really buttoned. It's supposed to be like kind of open. But I do think that those need to be updated. There's so many blazers that look so amazing right now. Just the regular classic relaxed fit blazer is a great one to get because that does not really go out of style. This is also something you could probably find secondhand or on a website like ThredUp or Poshmark. So I just think that one needs to be updated. Any of those tops that were really on trend in like 2016, 17, 18 that have lots of bells and whistles. Like there's a crisscross thing in the V-neck, and then there's a ruffle on the sleeve, and there's a tie, or there's chains everywhere, or random buttons that don't actually button anything. These were all trends about 10 years ago, and they just look very dated at this point. And I don't know when it'll come back. I don't know if it'll come back, but unless you're really crafty and can somehow rework that item, I just kind of think those tops need to move on. I know I've mentioned this before in other videos, but the jeggings, the stretchy leggings that look like jeans, and occasionally I will still see these for sale. And so I know that people are still buying them, but I do think they can really look kind of dated. And again, if you're really good at restyling things, I'm sure you can do amazing things with it. But for the most part, if you're just trying to put an outfit together and that's what you've been wearing and you're not sure how to restyle it, I would move those on. And if you like the slim jean, I would stick with the slim jean, not a jegging, spandexy type jegging kind of jean. I know I've said in many videos that prints go in and out of style really fast, and I do think with prints, prints are great, and I have a couple prints that I love, but I'm just really careful not to have a closet full of them. And the prints just go in and out of fashion so fast. But the really big florals that also have like a ruffle 3/4 sleeve, and then they have like a bar going across the front and have other bells and whistles. I'll try to find some and put pictures on the screen, but a lot of those, they just tend to look out of style. Right now, the more classic look is more on trend. Not a lot of bells and whistles, not tons of ruffles mixed with buttons, mixed with chains and lace and everything else. It's just more of a classic, simple, minimal look. And obviously you want to go with what you like, not necessarily what's on trend. But like I said, these are just items that in the fashion world, even if you don't follow trends, these still can look very dated. Now, if you're like, well, what do I wear instead? Well, I will link some videos in the description box because I do talk a lot about these kinds of things on my channel sometimes. And so I will link some videos below that should help you kind of figure out what to wear instead. So I hope you like this video, and it's a good starter for clearing out some of the clutter in your house, in your closet, not your house, but your closet mainly, and in your drawers. I think it is good to start a fresh new year with some space. I'm working on that as well, not just in my closet, but like in so many other areas. And I hope this video was helpful. Make sure to check out Masterclass below. I love it. Love it for a Christmas gift for somebody or yourself. Anyway, let me know what you think of this video. Let me know if you have anything to add, and I will see you next time.